these northern water snakes mimic a copperhead so well. Many people are afraid of these snakes because when they dry out a little bit, they look just like a copperhead. This is where we keep all of our reptiles that we have for birthday parties, for shows, different things of that nature. It's also where we keep all the snakes that we're rehydrating and getting ready to release. And it's where I keep my favorite snakes, the rattlesnakes. So come on in. And this is one of our big Burmese pythons. Her name is Miss Minion. And then this is where we keep one of our big reticulated pythons, who is hungry right now. She's always hungry. And then this is a bucket full of black rat snakes. And we're gonna take these guys and put them back in. I just cleaned this cage out, sanitized it, disinfected it, deodorized it. And then we're gonna feed them. We feed them individually in individual buckets so that they don't hurt each other. And these are all wild caught snakes that are gonna be released back into the wild, that we've pulled out of people's homes. That's where all these snakes come from, people's homes. And then when they have problems like this, we help them out before we release them, where the shed is stuck to their cells. And so we'll help them peel out of that shed. And this one's going to shed right in my hand here. Just shed that old skin right out. You don't catch that too often. Where they shed their old skin right in front of you. See, I'm just letting him do it all. I'm just holding it still so he can pull out of that old shed. And that's why he's wiggling his body like that. He's actually hooked into my other arm, and he's just pulling this old skin out with his muscle contractions, if you can see the muscles contracting. These are non-venomous. I'll show you the venomous ones here in a second. I don't do this with venomous snakes. We can't afford for me to get hurt. Because if I go down, then that means Miss Bonnie runs the company, and nobody wants that. This is actually pretty cool. You never get to see this. This always happens when you ain't looking. Yeah. So normally on his own, he'd get out of this skin. It'd take him about, 5-10 minutes. He'd hook onto a rock somewhere or a tree root, and he'd hook this dead skin into that area. Looks like I got somebody over here who wants to come visit. Look at this guy escaping already. All right, So get all those guys put away. This is a full and complete shed from a western black rat snake. Just shed it out in my hand, which was pretty cool. So he's ready to be released. Now we got a couple of other snakes over here. These snakes are not quite as calm. These snakes are northern water snakes. They're a little jumpier. A lot of people mistake them for copperheads because they look like copperheads, but these are non-venomous northern water snakes. And so we'll run out to the creek back here and turn these guys loose. They've already been hydrated and taken care of, so they're ready to go. This particular one came out of a koi pond in downtown St. Louis. It was eating $300 koi, and so the homeowners wanted it moved along. Many people are afraid of these snakes because when they dry out a little bit, they look just like a copperhead. The colors of them, the pattern, the fact that they flare their head the way they do, you know, it all mimics a copperhead. And but these are non-venomous fish eaters. They just create a little bit of a problem whenever they're eating people's $300 koi. This one's ready to go, so we're going to let her go. Got out of that one with only a couple of bites, not even bad bites, and all my fingers. This creek is pretty remote. It goes to a larger body of water that direction, and then up that direction it just gets shallow. So pretty good place to let snakes go. Copperheads, because they flare their body out like this, they're very wiggly. And there's a whole lot of biting and musking. Unlike the black rat snakes, they're not nearly as calm to deal with. This pattern here is what people mistake for a copperhead, and the fact that they flatten their body out like a copperhead. And then when you look at the bottom, they are pretty copperhead looking. They do make their head into a triangle, and they're pretty much just a real feisty snake. Now this one luckily only bit me once, right there on the thumb, but normally they're real bitey. We got lucky with this one today, so let's just let him loose. So one of their defense mechanisms is they musk and smell really bad. That's what all this white stuff is right here. This is all musk that she squirted out, tried to get on me. And she did get some on me. That's why you gotta clean your hands really well afterwards.